Kazakhstan and Japan are planning to expand cooperation. Partnership in investment is a priority between the countries. Experts opined that the ongoing and promising joint projects in Kazakhstan are concentrated in various industries, which include engineering, energy, agriculture, logistics, petrochemicals, light industry, robotics, as well as IT. The close cooperation between the countries is bearing fruit. For example, the fourth largest global transport company in Japan opens its Central Asian representative office in Kazakhstan this month. Another big Japanese transportation company is considering to open a regional center for technical maintenance of mining equipment in the country. Meanwhile, Japan Oil, Gas and Metals National Corporation intend to continue to cooperate with Kazakhstan in the development of technologies for the processing of rare earth metals. In addition, the largest Japanese bank and Baiterek National Holding have also launched a joint loan program. Japanese businessmen said that they plan to continue investing in the booming economy of Kazakhstan. Moreover, the country is taking solid measures to improve its investment climate and expand opportunities for more foreign investors. Kazakhstan and Italy are partners in many areas. Italy is one of three largest trade partners of Kazakhstan. Trade turnover between the countries amounted to more than $13 billion in 2018. The countries cooperate in areas of mechanical engineering, construction, and agriculture. In addition to this, one of the leading Italian companies is actively investing in Kazakhstan's oil and gas industry. Trust between the two countries was established over 60 years. The countries also jointly work on renewable energy industry. In this regard, the main interest is focused in Aktobe region. Italians have shown a great interest in Kazakhstan. Many want to enter into the country's market. From 2015 to 2017, Italian investments amounted to $5.8 billion. Italy is one of the largest investors in Kazakhstan. Italy's oil and gas company invests $112 million in the construction of Kazakhstan's largest wind park. The wind park will be commissioned by the end of this year. International business people pointed out that the development of renewable energy in Aktobe region is one of the priority areas of cooperation. The region enjoys 300 sunny days. The region's wind energy potential is high as well. Thus, the countries are negotiating to build a second wind park, Badamsha. Some of the information on the expansion of the project has been announced. Meanwhile, the likelihood of the implementation of the Badamsha 2 project was announced as well. As part of the negotiations, an agreement has been reached that ensures the company's involvement in the Badamsha 2 project. We have prepared a package of these projects. Our figures are the most competitive. Aktobe region has been listed as one of the 5 leading regions to attract investments. This year, the region plans to attract over $600 billion of investments. Starting next year, Kazakhstan's dairy farms will use only raw materials that meet the requirements of the customs union. The new introduction will increase the competitiveness of Kazakh dairy products in foreign markets. A roadmap has been developed for this purpose. There are nearly 160 farms in Kazakhstan. They process 500,000 tons of milk per year, and most of which is exported. Since the beginning of the year, dairy farms in Kostanay region alone have shipped more than 5,000 tons of milk to Russia. This is 14% higher compared to the same period last year.
Порядка 200 тонн молочной продукции.
There are approximately 200 tons of dairy products. Nearly 15% of this volume is exported mainly to eastern Siberia.
До Восточной Сибири.
First, they supplied to 100 shops and then sold the products to 150 shops. Dairy farmers in Kostanay plan to enter the markets of Kurgan and Sverdlovsk regions. Since the beginning of the year, farmers in Atyrau region have produced over 38,000 tons of organic milk. In addition to dairy farms, goat dairy farming is actively being developed in the region. The supply is enough not only to cover the region, but also to be exported abroad. One goat dairy farm is capable of producing up to 180 tons of dairy products per year.
Наше поголовье сейчас 1300 коз.
Our livestock consists of 1,300 goats, but many goats have not given birth yet. We expect that this year we will have 1,500 goats. We produce 20 types of dairy products. They are supplied to Western regions. Our national products are very popular and in high demand in Russia. We get more orders from there, and we supply to Orenburg and Astrakhan. Organic and high-quality dairy products are always in great demand. Dairy farmers in Kazakhstan are considering to create business cooperatives in order to withstand competition in the huge global market. Kazakh railway companies are reducing its environmental footprints in order to contribute to the implementation of the Paris Climate Agreement. The country's largest railway company has launched a program to reduce harmful emissions into the atmosphere by 16%. The company also plans to compensate its carbon footprint by 100% by 2023. In order to implement the programs, the railway company will introduce alternative energy sources, modernize its boiler house, and switch to gas heating. Another important area is the landscaping program for small and single industry towns.
Мы должны будем подготовить наши производственные мощности в части снижения.
We have to prepare our production capacity in reducing energy loss and volatility. This includes the heat rehabilitation of a building and modernization of the large energy-intensive equipment. This is also about the complete transition to LED technology. The second stage is the introduction of alternative technologies, particularly the introduction of heat pumps and solar collectors, which will save up to 40% of consumption of fuel energy resources. The third stage is a large-scale introduction of renewable energy technologies. The Kazakh company plans to launch a project on recycling plastic waste. The company also intends to launch a project on manufacturing innovative plastic railway ties. Today, the technology is widely used in America, Canada, Western Europe, and Russia. Increasing the social activity and the civil liability are the main priorities of youth policy in Kazakhstan. As part of the Youth Year, the JASA project is being implemented in the country. The young generation are given the opportunity to start their social projects in regions and villages. 600 participants of the program were selected from all over the country. 100 small grants will be allocated for the best ideas that can benefit the society. As part of the project, 68 young specialists took part in the second stage of training that has been launched for young workers in Nur Sultan city. The specialists will help the ambitious youth to implement their ideas.
В процессе трехдневного тренинга международные эксперты из Беларуси и национальные тренеры.
During the 3-day training, international experts from Belarus, who are national trainers, will share their experience in conducting and supporting the ideas of youth. The training introduces the participants to the concepts of project management, project direction, how to set goals and plan the projects, as well as the principles of interaction between a mentor or coach and participants.
Также о принципах взаимодействия ментора или коуча с молодыми людьми.
There is a particular attention on youth initiatives. The Kazakh Ministry of Education and Science plans to allocate 9 billion tenge in the next 3 years to support the innovative projects of young scientists. Currently, the country has started to accept applications for the participation in the Jastar Otanga Festival of Innovative Ideas. The best projects will be presented in the competition's finale, which will be held in late October in Almaty. In addition, an exchange program will be implemented to encourage networking and youth organizations. The representative said that it is important that businessmen and potential investors take part in the consideration of the projects. We divided Kazakhstan into 5 zones. This is done for efficient networking. It is for the ease of interaction and acquaintance of youth from different regions. For example, youth from the north will gather in Pavlodar and youth from the south will be sent to Shymkent. According to this principle, the youth will gather in 5 zones of the country. Kazakhstan's capital hosted a job fair where more than 80 local and international companies participated. 500 young professionals attended the event. There are vacancies in various sectors such as economy, oil and gas, IT, space and industrial engineering, as well as science, education and medicine. Kazakh and international companies annually employ young graduates from local and foreign universities. As part of the job fair, trainings and seminars on successful employments, as well as master classes on job interviews were also held. I came to the job fair to find a job that will suit my university degree. It's been a week since I arrived in Kazakhstan. I graduated with a master's degree. I have a diploma. I hope that I will find the job.
Бұл жәрмеңкені өткізу себебі жалпы бұл жұмыс берушілердің бізге үлкен сұраныс болды, өйткені ай сайын бізде болашақ бағдарламасын бітірген түлектерге жұмыс берушілер тарапынан.
We organized this job fair because employers request it for many times. They request us to find them high professional specialists. This is a great platform for meeting job seekers and employers. This opens up huge opportunities on employment.
Жоғары білікті мамандар алу мүмкіндігін беруге, түлектерге өз түйіндемелерін беру арқылы жаңағы жақсы жұмыс орындарына орналасуға мүмкіндік.
Travelers from all over the world are attracted to the history and memorable culture heritage of the country of the Great Steppe. The National Museum is one of the popular places in Nur Sultan for tourists to visit. All the stages of the country's development and history are presented in the museum. For visitors' convenience, tours are offered in Kazakh, Russian, English, Chinese and Turkish languages.
Шетелдік туристер тек қана біздің тәуелсіздік алғаннан кейінгі тәуелсіздік алғаннан бастапқы ғана тарихымызбен ғана жақсы таныс.
Foreign tourists are familiar with our history after we have gained independence. Since they don't know much about the earlier history, they're even more interested in visiting the museum. They often ask about information on the Golden Man, which was discovered in Kazakhstan.
Және сосын олардың көбінесе сұрайтындары жаңағы алтын Қазақстан территориясында табылған алтын адам туралы ақпараттар көбірек қызықтырады.
Analysts said that every year, the number of the tourists who want to know more about the past of nomads is growing. In 2018, more than 21,000 foreigners visited the National Museum to have a look at unique exhibits and learn about the history of Kazakhs.
Если кто-то действительно хочет посетить Казахстан как турист,
If someone wants to visit Kazakhstan as a tourist, first of all, he or she should pay a visit to our museum. There, the tourist can delve into the entire history of Kazakhstan, learn about the archaeological excavations, as well as see other achievements of Kazakhstan.
Раскопок и прочие вот эти достижения Казахстана.
The National Museum of Kazakhstan is the newest and largest in Central Asia. The building has an extraordinary design. The 9-floor complex consists of 7 blocks. There are 14 exhibition halls. The museum also has a research institute and a workshop for the restoration of exhibits. The purpose of the restoration is to fully present the history of the country to visitors, from the primitive communal system to the present day.
Ұлттық музей болғаннан кейін, әлбетте ең бірінші кезекте мемлекет құраушы осы жердің егесі.
Since this is the National Museum of Kazakhstan, first of all, it widely presents the exhibits that tell about the history of Kazakhstan, Kazakh people and culture. All stages are reflected. These are the most ancient times, the Bronze Age, the Saka period and modernity, and the first flight of our astronauts.
Ғарышқа ұшқан космонавтарға дейінгі жинақталса, бұлар тұтас бір қазақ халқының тарихын көрсетеді.
Currently, the total number of exhibits in the National Museum is over 200,000. The fund is constantly replenished. As part of donating to the National Museum campaign, more than 4,000 valuable exhibits have been added to the museum fund. The Golden Man, which is one of the most valuable exhibits in Atyrau Local History Museum, will be showcased in St. Petersburg. The exhibit will be displayed in the Commandant House of Peter and Paul Fortress. The Sarmatian leader will be displayed in St. Petersburg for 20 days. The remains of the warrior who lived in the 2nd century AD were discovered 20 years ago during the excavations of the Araltyobe Mound. The exhibit is called the Golden Man due to the abundance of jewelry made of precious metals found on him. A golden griffin stake, sword and dagger, as well as quiver with arrowheads are preserved well.
Аталған көрме барысында музейлер арасында меморандум
As part of the exhibition, a memorandum between the two museums will be signed. The main goal of the agreement is to organize a traveling exhibition of the Ethnographic Museum and to present the valuable exhibits in Attarau region. Thereby, residents in the region can get to know exhibits thoroughly.
тұрмыс-тіршілігімен таныса алатын болады.
An ancient Central Asian town, Jankind, located along the Silk Road, has drawn great interest from researchers of the entire Turkic world. The town was once known as the capital of Oghuz. Today, it is known as the homeland of the legendary Korkut Ata. Archaeological excavations are carried out in the town. A team of local and foreign specialists are working on the excavations. This year, German archaeologists are also involved in the work.
We have this international project here at Jankind, not just because we're looking for pottery or other finds. We have a very specific interest in the process of how this place became a town, because we now know it started around the 7th century, probably as a fishing village.
Excavations as part of the memorandum are conducted by archaeologists from Kazakh, Russian and German universities. Moreover, new and modern approaches of archaeological excavations are being used.
Geophysical әдістер бұл біздің ескерткіштің қазбаға дейін астында нелер жатқан жөнінде бізге мәліметтер береді. Сонымен бірге топырақтанушы.
Geophysical methods are very effective. They allow getting information on what is under the monument. The new methods help to reduce the volumes of earthworks and archaeological exploration works. They give a lot of information on the contents of plants, bones of animals and soil. It is possible to find out about the period of their existence. For example, we can assume that Jankind went through 4 epochs.
Жинақталған Жанкент зерттеулерінің нәтижесінде бүгінгі таңда біз көптеген мәселелерге жауап алып отырмыз.
Fragments of a glass vessel were found in ancient Jankind during the archaeological explorations. According to forecasts of specialists, the vessel was designed to store perfume.
Это, по всей видимости, является флаконом для каких-то благовоний.
This was perhaps a jar that was used to sort balms and perfume. In the 9th to 11th centuries, it was a common knowledge that Syria was one of the largest centers for the manufacturing of glass products and dishes. Thus, it is most likely that this item was imported from Syria through the Silk Road.
Этот предмет был импортирован через Великий шелковый путь из Сирии.
This Oriental-style wall belongs to Central Asian town Jankind. It was built on a 10-meter wide and 5-meter high dam. Specialists said that the wall protected the town both from enemies and floods. The old watercourse of Sirdarya passed along the very walls of the town. Now, archaeologists are restoring the treasure of Kazakh history. In the future, an open-air museum will be opened at the site. Uzbek channels began to broadcast Kazakh films more often. One of the most popular shows in Uzbek television is A Mother's Heart, produced by Khabar Agency. Viewers in Uzbekistan have recently watched Doing Business the Kazakh Way and Shal films. The broadcast showcases a deep cultural connection between two countries. Last week, the film Shal, which was shot by Kazakh filmmakers, was broadcasted on our channel. Uzbek viewers have highly spoken about the excellent performance of the talented Kazakh actors. According to the ratings result, which is compiled once a week, Kazakhstan series and films are very popular in Uzbekistan. Film industry is developing fast in Uzbekistan. There are over 50 private studios in the country. Experts said high-quality movies will be made if there are competitions. In 2018, the Uzbek Kino National Agency had made more than 20 historical films. Active implementation of the project continues this year. We have gradually redeveloped our film industry. The state provides us with financial support. We have already purchased the latest special equipment. Filmmakers made the Word of Abai documentary in 2018 as part of the Year of Uzbekistan in Kazakhstan. The documentary showcases the childhood of the Kazakh poet, his environment, creativity, and archival documents. While working on the film, the crew visited Abai Kunanbaev's hometown in Semey and the museum of the founder of Kazakh literature in Jibek. Film industry experts opined that such projects will bring people of the two countries closer together.
Кино сближает народ с народом.
Cinema unites people. It removes all kinds of boundaries. When you watch a movie, you fall in love with this country and with this character. These are the films that we need to make.
На этих самых. Вот такие фильмы надо нам снимать.
Filmmakers from Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan plan to launch several joint projects in the future. For example, Kazakh Film, together with filmmaker Hilal Nasimov, will work on a film titled Miras. The filming of an Uzbek man's love for a Kazakh girl will take place in Turkestan.